Hello children, welcome to the class once again. So, in the last class we have studied the components of a circulatory system and the external structure of heart and important components in the circulatory system. So, circulatory system plays a very important role. So how? So heart is said to be a pumping organ. It is a muscular organ. Again, I am telling you, it is made up of cardiac muscles. So the heart is made up of four chambers. Four chambers. Right atrium, right ventricle. Left atrium, left ventricle. Okay. So right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium. How the four chambers are formed? By means of a formation of wall-like structures which is called as a septum. Septum is a singular, septae is a plural. Okay, so the septae are formed and these septae making the heart into four chambers. So you have to remember one thing, right side chambers of the heart contain deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood means the blood which contains carbon dioxide. And the left side chambers, I mean left auricle and left ventricle, they contain oxygenated blood. So that you have to remember. Left side, right atrium and right ventricle, they contain deoxygenated blood. Left atrium and left ventricle contain oxygenated blood. Okay. Now we shall see. So septae are the structures which divide the heart into four chambers. Okay. And so the veins. I have already told you veins collect deoxygenated blood from various body parts and open into the heart. So here superior vena cava which collects deoxygenated blood from upper body parts like head, neck, shoulders, etc. Opens into right auricle. In the same way, inferior vena cava, which collects deoxygenated blood from lower body parts and opens into right auricle. So, right auricle receives deoxygenated blood from all body parts, upper body parts and lower body parts like limbs, kidney, liver, etc. Lower body parts. So, the blood from right auricle flows to right ventricle. So, there is an opening which allows the blood to flow into the right atrium to right ventricle. So the flow of direction is unidirectional. The blood cannot flow back. So it flows only in one direction, only one direction. So why? Because of the presence of valves. So valves are present. Valves means they are door-like structures. When the blood flows from right atrium to right ventricle, after the flow, they will close. So this valve is called tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve is present, which allows the blood to flow only from right atrium to right ventricle. So from the right ventricle, the blood flows through pulmonary artery. I told you pulmonary artery is the only artery which carries deoxygenated blood. So pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood to lungs. So right pulmonary artery, left pulmonary artery. So right pulmonary artery goes to right lung, left pulmonary artery goes to left lung. Okay. And in the lungs, the alveoli we have already seen in the respiratory system. The alveoli are richly supplied with blood. So the pulmonary artery is carrying deoxygenated blood to the alveoli. So here the alveoli take carbon dioxide from the blood and they give back blood with the blood. They give back oxygen to the blood. So now the blood got oxygenated. In the lungs, in alveoli, the blood got oxygenated. Now, this oxygenated blood is collected by pulmonary vein. Remember, pulmonary vein is the only vein which carries. So, oxygenated blood is represented with red color. Deoxygenated blood is represented with black color. So, pulmonary vein collects deoxygenated blood from the lungs and opens. So, oxygenated blood is present in the left side, left auricle. So it enters into left atrium. From the left atrium, the blood goes to left ventricle. Okay, so from left atrium the blood goes to left ventricle, and in the same way the flow of blood is unidirectional. So when the blood flows from left atrium to left ventricle, the valve closes. So what is the valve? Bicuspid valve, or it is also called as a mitral valve. Bicuspid valve or mitral valve. So this valve closes and the blood, oxygenated blood, enters into the left ventricle. From the left ventricle, the blood is collected by aorta. So this is aorta. This is the largest artery which supplies blood to all parts of the body. Largest aorta which supplies oxygenated blood to all body parts. So you know, now I think you have a clear picture. Right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium and left ventricle, tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve, and you can have other at the origin of pulmonary artery, pulmonary valve is present. At the origin of aortic artery, aortic valve is present. At the origin of aorta, aortic valve is present. Okay, so that is why by tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve, pulmonary valve and aortic valve. So these are the valves which prevent backward flow of blood. They will allow the blood to flow only in one direction. Okay, so that is the circulation of the blood. Shall I repeat? So superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, from upper body parts and lower body parts, they collect the blood and open into right atrium. From the right atrium, the blood flows to right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the blood is collected by pulmonary artery and it goes to the lungs. In the lungs, the blood gets oxygenated. The oxygenated blood is collected by pulmonary vein. So pulmonary vein opens into left atrium. From left atrium, the blood goes to left ventricle. So there is no backward flow of blood, only unidirectional. From the left ventricle, aorta is present. It collects blood. From the left ventricle, the blood is collected by aorta, largest artery, and it supplies oxygenated blood to all the cells. Okay, so this is the circulation. And if you observe, so the structure of the heart, it is not round. So it is that means wider part is upper side and tapering part is in the lower side. Okay, and if you observe the walls of the artery, so the walls of the left side chambers is thicker when compared to right side. Why? Because so from the right side the blood is supplied only to lungs, very close to the heart. But from the left side, from the left ventricle, aorta has to supply blood from all body parts, from head to toe. That is why the walls of the left ventricle and left atrium are more muscular when compared to right side chambers. Okay, so that is how the heart receives blood from superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, deoxygenated blood, pulmonary vein, that is oxygenated blood from the lungs, and this one, it is pulmonary artery supplies deoxygenated blood to lungs. Okay, and aorta supplies oxygenated blood to all body parts. So that is how the circulation of the blood will take place, and we shall know more things about the circulation of the blood and blood pressure, etc. in the next class. Okay, hope you have understood and try to remember all these names, so there is no confusion at all. Okay, thank you.